You walk every day. You move. You show up. You've done what they told you to do, but your legs still feel tired, your grip's weaker, stairs ask more than they used to, and deep down, you're wondering, why is strength leaving me, even though I've stayed committed? Hi, I'm Mark, your strength coach here at Healthy Aging Hub. If you've been doing your best to stay active, but still feel your body slowing down, this video is for you. Because what you're doing isn't wrong. You're just missing one quiet piece. A piece no one talks about. But it changes everything. Stick with me. Let's uncover it together. And if this feels like your story, maybe today is the first step toward getting your strength back. 1. The symptom is memory. She started wondering if maybe it was just part of getting older. Maybe this is normal, she thought. Maybe everyone starts to slow down at this age. But the thing is, Linda hadn't slowed down. She was still moving, still walking, still active. What changed wasn't her effort. It was what her body needed and wasn't getting. She wasn't doing anything wrong. She was just missing a signal. You see, the body doesn't always shout when it starts to lose muscle. It whispers through small signs. That slight wobble when you turn too fast. The need to push yourself off the couch. The extra second it takes to grab a jar and twist the lid. We don't call it muscle loss. We call it getting careful, moving slower, being safe. But underneath it all, your strength is quietly leaving. And it's not because you aren't trying. It's because the movement you're doing, like walking or house chores, keeps you going, but doesn't rebuild what's been lost. Muscle isn't like memory. It doesn't fade just because of time. It fades from lack of challenge. Linda wasn't weak. She was walking every day. But her muscles, they weren't being asked to stay. So they started letting go. Little by little, without pain, without drama, just silence. Until one day she realized, I'm active, but I don't feel strong. That was the moment something shifted, not just in her body, but in how she saw herself. Because strength doesn't leave all at once. It leaves quietly, unless we call it back. 2. The body speaks. This isn't your fault. You've been doing what most people say. Just keep moving. Stay active. Get your steps in. But no one explained the difference between movement and activation. Movement keeps blood flowing. It's good for your joints. It supports your heart. But it doesn't ask your muscles to wake up. Muscles need to be reminded, not just used. And the reminder they respond to is resistance. It doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to hurt. It just needs to be intentional. A controlled squat from a chair, a slow push-up against the wall, a steady step up onto a stair. These tiny actions tell your body, we still need strength here. When you don't send that message, your muscles quietly shrink to conserve energy. Because the body is efficient. It doesn't waste effort on systems that aren't being challenged. That's why walking every day doesn't stop muscle loss. It slows it. It maintains function. But it doesn't rebuild. Linda from earlier was walking daily. She felt good, until one day she struggled to carry her laundry basket. It wasn't because she wasn't moving. It was because she wasn't activating. And once she understood that difference, things began to change. She didn't need a gym. She didn't change her routine. She just added a 10-minute ritual, chair squats, wall push-ups, light resistance band rows. It wasn't intense, but it was enough. Enough to send the message, enough to slow the loss, enough to help her feel strong again, not just active, because the body listens, but only when we speak the right language. And after 60, that language is resistance. 3. Identity remirroring. It wasn't really about the jar. It was about what it symbolized. That moment, I'm standing there in the kitchen, Raymond didn't feel injured. He didn't feel sick. He felt disconnected. Like his body was no longer matching the image he held of himself. A man who used to carry bags, lift furniture, help others. Now, unable to twist a lid. It wasn't pain, it was something deeper, a quiet sense of loss. And that's the part we rarely talk about, because strength isn't just muscle, it's identity. When you feel strong, you move through the world differently. You reach without hesitation. You walk into rooms with ease. You feel capable, not cautious. But when strength fades, you shrink, not physically, but energetically. You hesitate, you calculate, you adjust. And slowly you begin to expect less from yourself. That's what Raymond realized. He wasn't just struggling physically. He was starting to let go mentally. That's why the change mattered so much. Not because it was dramatic, but because it was dignified. 10 minutes a day. That's all it took. He didn't train like an athlete. He didn't push himself. He just showed up. Every morning, quietly, intentionally, and slowly, his strength returned, but more importantly, his sense of self returned with it. He no longer saw himself as someone getting older. He saw himself as someone still in charge, still capable, still here. And that shift, from fading to returning, isn't just physical, it's internal. Because strength is not only what you lift, it's who you believe you still are. 4. Mythic test invitation. So, how do you begin? Not with a resolution, not with a dramatic change, just a quiet decision. I want my strength back. That's the real test. Not physical, but emotional. Not about what you can lift, but whether you're willing to ask your body to come with you again. Because the body doesn't respond to shame. It responds to care, to rhythm, to signals that say, you still matter to me. And that signal doesn't have to be loud. It can start with one move. Check mark, chair squats. Stand in front of a sturdy chair. Lower, slowly, pause, rise with control. 3 sets of 5 to 10. Let your legs feel needed again. Wall push-ups. Face the wall, lean in, lower gently, push back. 2 sets of 10. This isn't about bulk, it's about reminding your upper body. We still have work to do. Step-ups. Find one stair. Step up, step down. Even 1 minute a day rebuilds the power in your legs. And more than that, it rebuilds your trust in them. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for the right time. There is no deadline, only a decision. Start with just one today, not to prove anything, not to impress anyone, but to say something simple to your muscles. I still need you. Because that's what they've been waiting for. Not punishment, not pressure, just purpose. And when you move from that place, your body will know, and it will respond. Quietly, faithfully, like it always wanted to. You've already been trying. You've stayed active. You showed up. You weren't doing it wrong. You just weren't told what was missing. And now you know. Because strength isn't something you lose all at once. It fades, quietly. Unless you ask for it back. Your body is listening, and it can still respond. Comment, I'm adding resistance if this shifted something for you today. Even if it's just one new move, one signal to your body that you're not done. And in our next video, we'll talk about the foods that help your muscles rebuild faster after 60. Not just protein, but timing, repair, and recovery. Make sure you subscribe, because the strength you want, it's not gone. It's just been waiting.